please welcome to your next comic on stage, Rekha, Shankar!
I'm the hottest round. Y'all can stop me now. Listen to me now. I'm less than 20
Hi. Have any of you ever been asked a rhetorical question for the sake of camaraderie before? So anyway, I recently quit my job, and I recently quit my job, and I don't want to shit on the company and tell you it was NBC, so I won't. But before I left, I was a little bit rebellious, and I took a stack of Post-it notes, and they were really nice Post-it notes, and I don't want you guys to think any less of me. I actually felt pretty noble doing it, kind of like Robin Hood. I steal from the rich and I give to the part-time, and I'm part-time now. And guys, I really am kind of looking for a job, and I'm honestly very DTF. I'm down to freelance. I will do that if necessary. But when I told my mom all this, she got really concerned. You're quitting a full-time job. She thought I was going into some sort of downward spiral, and she told me to pray to God a lot. She's a very religious Hindu woman, and to be honest, I don't know if I believe in God. This is a comedy show, and I don't know if I believe in God because that's such a big question, and there's so many littler questions I can't answer in my day, like paper or plastic. Well, if it's raining outside, I'm leaning plastic, but I don't want to contribute to a landfill that I'm going to be forced to move into because I DTF'd, dared to freelance. Or, cats or dogs. Well, I feel like the answer is obviously dogs, but I don't want to alienate my cat audience when I have to move into that landfill because I DTF'd, dumbly tried freelancing. And yeah, I just, Mom, do I believe in God? I don't even know if I believe in heat tech technology. And I have been wearing these Uniqlo tights for months, and I'm still so cold. It's still so cold outside. It doesn't help. Guys, speaking of how cold it is, I have been working a lot of night shifts, so I feel like I'm getting the brunt of it. And the other day I was coming home on the train at 4 a.m. I freelance, and so this man sat across from me on the train, and if you guys could help me, when I point to you, if you could make this noise, like a zerbit or like a raspberry noise, that would be great. So the man sat across from me, and he went like this. And he blew his nose into his shirt. Oh. And it was very severe. And I was like, okay. Ugh. And then he proceeded, he dug a little extra cheese out of there and smeared it on his pants. And then I was like, I got it. This is objectively gross. And as I was getting up, he took out a container and with his hands began to eat a small piece of lasagna. And that's when I thought of a fun little game, New Yorker or a monster. So if you all want to play with me and just shout out if you think a New Yorker did it or it was a monster. So someone or some monster on the train when I was holding their upper railing wiped his face on my hand. Ew. Was that a New Yorker or a monster? Monster. You're both right. Honestly, yeah. It was a New Yorker, but really, what is the difference? We don't have time. It's a comedy show. Okay, next one. A man on the subway also threw up into his hands and sneezed, and it sprayed on me. Was that a New Yorker or a monster? I kind of already said it was a man, but New Yorker or a monster, guys? What do you think? New Yorker. Yeah, you're both right. Yeah. So you guys are really good at that game. That's pretty cool. I'll give you one more. Someone or a monster threw up red in the subway station at Lorimer. And I said, "Are you okay?" And they said, "Oh, it's beets. This happens all the time." Was this a New Yorker or a monster? Yeah, you're both right. She said it happened all the time. So, this sort of debate gets, I studied a lot of psych in college, so it gets me thinking about that kind of stuff. And the big guy in psych is Sigmund Freud. He's a big guy. And you know, he's got some theories though that people think are outdated. And I think, you know, they're not outdated. We just need to update the terminology, you know? So he's got this theory of the subconscious, the ego, the superego, and the id. The ego is the self that the society wants you to be. This is a comedy show. The society wants you to be. It's very digestible. It's what the norm is. The superego is the self that negotiates between what society wants and what you truly want. The id is your most primal, carnal desires and instincts. Terrific. Let's update these terms, though. So the ego, the self that society wants you to be, should be called the cold play. It's very digestible, very easy to swallow. Just goes down very easy. Everybody expects you to do the same thing again and again, Chris Martin. We don't need anything else from you. Just the one thing. Terrific. Little piano keys. Great. The superego, the self that negotiates between what society wants and what you want, that should be called the O-Town, because O-Town was made of 4 men with a dream to become musicians, as formed by the societal confines of making the band and P. Diddy's legacy. So you have this negotiation between these true desires of these 4 talented young boys and making the band, the superego, or the O-Town. Terrific. And then you have the id, your most primal, basic instincts, and that should just be called the Pitbull featuring Kesha. Do what you want, say what you want, drink 40 beers for breakfast, South Beach, Miami Beach, Bethany Beach, all the beaches, sand is everywhere. Guys, if we just update these terms for the modern age, we will truly be able to self-actualize, or self-Beyonce. Guys, I'm Rekha, Shankar, thank you so much.
People sing around.